Have you ever felt invisible? Not in a poetic way. Not in a metaphorical sense. I mean truly invisible. Where people look right through you. Where your skills, your intelligence, your entire existence just doesn't register to the people around you. Where you're holding a mop, so they assume that's all you can hold. This is a story about Sarah Bennett. For 3 years, she cleaned offices at one of London's most prestigious fashion companies. And for 3 years, nobody knew she spoke 3 languages fluently. Nobody knew she had almost completed a degree in international business. Nobody knew her father had been one of the industry's most respected translators. They saw the uniform. Not the person. Until one day, when the company desperately needed a translator for a critical French partnership deal worth millions. They were offering £3,500 to anyone who could help. Sarah needed exactly £2,800 to pay an immigration lawyer for her mother's visa. But revealing her skills meant risking everything. Her cleaning job. Her health insurance. Her safety in being unseen. Sometimes survival means staying invisible. Sometimes opportunity means stepping into the light. Sarah had 48 hours to decide which mattered more. This is her story. And if you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or invisible in your own life, this story is for you too. Before we begin, if stories like this resonate with you, please hit that subscribe button. I share real stories about ordinary people navigating extraordinary circumstances every week. And stay until the end because I'll share resources that might actually help if you're in a similar situation. Now, let's meet Sarah. Sarah Bennett is 28 years old. Every night at 9 p.m., she puts on her grey uniform and takes the bus to Meridian Fashion Group's headquarters in central London. She's one of 40 cleaning staff, mostly immigrants, employed through a contracting company that pays £9.50 an hour. It's not much, but it comes with basic health insurance. And right now, that insurance is the only thing keeping her mother in the Dementia Day program she desperately needs. Sarah's father was Thomas Bennett, a translator and cultural consultant who specialized in fashion industry French. He died suddenly of a heart attack when Sarah was 25, in her final year at Manchester Metropolitan University studying international business. She had to drop out 3 months before graduation. No degree meant no entry-level jobs in her field. The bills didn't wait for her to grieve. Her mother, Fatima, is from Algeria. She and Thomas raised Sarah speaking 3 languages at home: French, Arabic, and English. They filled their small Manchester apartment with books in all 3 languages. Her father would quiz her on fashion terminology while her mother cooked. Words like atelier de haute couture, maison patrimoniale, savoir-faire artisanal. The poetry of French fashion language, as her father called it. Now Sarah works 3 jobs. Night cleaning from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Weekend retail at a department store. And freelance translation online under a fake name, Language Bridge, whenever she can steal a few hours of sleep. She lives in council housing, £800 a month rent, and every penny is accounted for before she even earns it. Tonight, something is different at Meridian. The executive floor is buzzing with unusual energy for 10 p.m. Sarah pushes her cleaning cart slowly, carefully, staying invisible as always. Through the glass walls of the main boardroom, she can see them. Marketing Director Claire Peterson, early 40s, jacket off, hair falling out of its bun, looking exhausted. Junior Executive Marcus Hayes, ambitious, nervous, laptop open. And 3 other senior staff members, all looking at the same thick document with obvious frustration. Claire's voice carries through the door. Sarah is cleaning near. We have 5 days. 5 days to respond to Maison Lavelle's partnership proposal or they take their deal to our competitors. This could be worth £20 million over 3 years. The problem is, Sarah hears Marcus say, their proposal is entirely in French. Technical fashion French. Our usual translation agency is completely overwhelmed, it's Fashion Week, and their earliest availability is 8 days from now. We're supposed to be an international fashion company, one of the other executives says with bitter irony. How do we not have someone in-house who can handle this? Claire rubs her temples. I can muddle through tourist French. But this is contracts, labor standards, textile specifications, heritage craftsmanship terminology. If we mistranslate something critical, we could cost this company millions or worse, commit to terms we don't understand. What if we outsource to a premium agency, Marcus suggests. Rush fee. Claire laughs without humor. I called 6 agencies today. The cheapest Rush quote was £18,000. The most expensive was $32,000. Our CEO will never approve that for a deal we're not even sure we're taking. There's a long silence. Then Claire says quietly, I'm offering a bounty. £3,500 to anyone, who can accurately translate this document in the next 5 days. I'll pay it from my own budget if I have to. Spread the word. Check LinkedIn, university job boards, anywhere. We need someone good, and we need them now. Sarah's hand freezes on the table she's wiping. £3,500. Her mind immediately calculates. The immigration lawyer needs £2,800 by Friday. That's 4 days from now. Her mother's visa appointment has been delayed twice already. If they miss this window, the next available appointment is 6 months away. 6 months her mother doesn't have. Sarah keeps cleaning, but her mind is racing. She could do this translation easily. Her father taught her this exact specialized vocabulary. She's been listening to these executives mangle French pronunciation for 3 years. She's translated more complex documents than this for her freelance clients. But revealing herself means risking everything. If they know she's overqualified, will they fire her from cleaning? Will the contracting company let her go? She needs this job. She needs the insurance. The executives file out, still talking, still stressed. Sarah is alone in the boardroom. And there, on the table, they've left the first page of the document. Just the cover page with the Maison Lavelle logo. Sarah glances at the door. No one is coming. She looks down at the page. Her eyes scan the French text automatically, and immediately she spots 3 errors in the notes someone has scribbled in the margins. Basic mistakes. Tourist-level French applied to specialized industry language. She pulls out her phone and takes a quick photo. Just this one page. Just to see. That night, lying in bed at 3 a.m., Sarah studies the photo. The document is about a partnership for sustainable luxury textile production. Maison Lavelle is a third-generation French atelier specializing in traditional weaving techniques. They're looking for a British partner to expand into the UK market while maintaining their heritage craftsmanship standards. Sarah's father would have loved this. She can almost hear his voice. These are the partnerships that matter, Habibi. Not just business. Culture. Legacy. Craft. She thinks about the £3,500. About her mother's confused face this morning when she couldn't remember Sarah's name. About the lawyer's deadline. About staying invisible versus stepping into the light. The next day, Sarah makes a decision. A compromise. She won't reveal herself. Not yet. But she can help. Anonymously. During her shift, she waits until the executive floor is empty. She goes into the boardroom where they've been working. Their translation attempts are written on a whiteboard. She reads them and physically winces. They've confused actionnaires, which means shareholders, with actionnaires, which doesn't exist. They've translated patrimoine textile heritage, as inherited textiles, completely missing the cultural significance. Using a different colored marker, Sarah makes 3 small corrections. Just the most critical errors. The ones that would be embarrassing in a business context. She doesn't sign it. She just leaves it there and continues cleaning. If you're enjoying this story, please take a second to hit the like button. It helps more people find these stories. And if you've ever had to hide your talents to keep a job you desperately needed, drop a comment below. I read every single one. The next morning, Claire discovers the corrections. Sarah watches from a distance, emptying bins, as Claire calls Marcus over. Someone corrected our translation, Claire says, pointing at the whiteboard. Look at this. This is exactly right. I checked with an online dictionary. Whoever did this knows fashion French. Did you hire someone? Marcus looks uncomfortable. No. I thought maybe you did. They both look around the empty boardroom, confused. Over the next 2 days, Sarah continues her anonymous help. A correction here. A note there. Always after hours. Always invisible. But Marcus is taking credit for the improvements. Sarah watches during her Thursday night shift as he presents Claire with a fuller translation. I've been studying French privately, he tells Claire confidently. Didn't want to make a fuss until I was fluent, but given the emergency, I thought I should step up. Claire looks impressed. Marcus, this is exactly what we needed. I'm putting you in charge of coordinating the response to Maison Lavelle. Sarah's hands shake as she empties the bin nearby. He's stealing her work. But what can she do? Revealing herself now means admitting she's been accessing confidential documents, correcting company work without permission. She could be fired. Possibly arrested for corporate espionage. That night, Sarah's phone rings. It's the hospital. Your mother had an episode today. We had to call an ambulance. She's stable now, but her condition is deteriorating. The dementia is progressing faster than we anticipated. The doctor pauses. I know this is difficult, but have you secured her visa status? If she needs residential care soon, immigration status will become critical. Sarah closes her eyes. Tomorrow is Friday. The lawyer's deadline. She doesn't have the £2,800. She's £800 short even with her 3 jobs. The translation money would have solved everything. But that money is going to Marcus now, if anyone. Friday morning, Sarah arrives at Meridian for an unusual day shift. The contracting company called her in to cover for someone sick. She's exhausted. She hasn't slept. Her mother is in hospital. The lawyer's appointment is this afternoon, and she'll have to cancel it, lose the deposit, and wait another 6 months. She's cleaning the hallway outside the executive conference room when she hears Claire's voice, sharp with panic. This is wrong. This entire section is wrong. Sarah freezes. Marcus, you said you translated this. This doesn't make sense. Maison Lavelle wouldn't require us to lay off workers. That's not their values at all. Let me see the original. There's a long pause. Then Marcus stammers. I think there might have been a misunderstanding. The technical terminology was more complex than I anticipated. Maybe we should hire that agency after all. Claire's voice is cold. We don't have time. The deadline is Monday morning. Paris time. That's 60 hours from now. Sarah hears papers shuffling, frustrated sighs. Then Claire says quietly, I need air. I'm going to the cafe. When I come back, I want solutions, not excuses. Claire walks out of the conference room and nearly collides with Sarah in the hallway. They both step back. Claire looks at her, really looks at her, for maybe the first time in 3 years. Then Claire keeps walking. But something makes Sarah follow. Not closely. Just at a distance. Claire goes to the small cafe on the ground floor, orders a coffee, sits alone at a corner table, and puts her head in her hands. Sarah watches from the doorway. She thinks about her father. About her mother in hospital. About Marcus stealing credit. About being invisible for 3 years. About the £800 she doesn't have and the 60 hours until a deadline that could change everything. She walks into the cafe. Buys a tea she can't afford. And sits down at Claire's table. Claire looks up, surprised. Can I help you? Sarah takes a breath. The kind of breath you take before jumping off something high. I can translate your document, she says in perfect English. Not the broken English she uses with the contracting supervisor. Not the invisible cleaner's voice. Her real voice. Every word. Accurately. By Monday morning. Claire stares at her. I'm sorry, what? I speak French, Sarah says. Arabic and English too. My father was a translator. He specialized in fashion industry French. I studied international business. I've been translating documents professionally online for 3 years. And your current translation has 17 critical errors that will cost you this deal. If this story is giving you chills, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. These stories matter. Your story matters. Claire's expression cycles through confusion, disbelief, and then something like recognition. You're the one who corrected our whiteboard, aren't you? The anonymous notes. That was you. Sarah nods. Why didn't you say something sooner, Claire demands. Why didn't you just tell us you could help? Sarah looks down at her gray uniform. Because people who clean offices don't speak 3 languages. Because if you knew I was overqualified, you might fire me. Because I need my health insurance more than I need to be seen. Because staying invisible has kept me alive. Claire sits back, absorbing this. Then she leans forward. Can you really do this? Can you translate 30 pages of technical French fashion partnership proposals with legal terminology and cultural context by Monday morning? Sarah meets her eyes. Yes. But I need to be paid. £3,500. In writing. Before I start. Claire studies her for a long moment. Then she pulls out her phone. What's your full name? Sarah Bennett. My father was Thomas Bennett. He was a translator in this industry for 20 years before he died. Claire's eyes widen slightly. I know that name. I think I met him once, at a conference years ago. He was brilliant. Sarah says quietly. He died 3 years ago. Heart attack. I had to drop out of university to take care of my mother. That's why I'm here. Claire makes a call. 10 minutes later, Sarah is sitting in a small office with a contract in front of her. £3,500 for accurate translation services to be delivered by Monday, 9 a.m. Contracted through Claire's departmental consulting budget. Completely separate from the cleaning company. Sarah signs it with shaking hands. What do you need? Claire asks. A desk. A computer. Access to the full document. And privacy. Sarah pauses. And I need to work from home. My mother is in hospital. I need to be able to visit her. Claire nods. Take the documents. Work wherever you need to. Just get this done. Sarah takes the bus to the hospital first. Her mother is sleeping. Sarah sits beside her bed and opens the document on her laptop. She begins to read, and immediately she sees the problems. Marcus didn't just make small errors. He fundamentally misunderstood key sections. There's a clause about workforce standards that he translated as layoff requirements. Actually, it requires Meridian to ensure all workers in their supply chain receive living wages and proper working conditions. This is important. Because Meridian's current facilities contractor, the one that employs Sarah and 40 other cleaners, pays minimum wage with minimal benefits. If this deal goes through, Meridian will have to change contractors or force the current one to improve conditions. Sarah stares at the screen. Translating this accurately might cost her and her co-workers their jobs. Or it might finally get them fair pay. She doesn't know which. What would her father do? She knows the answer. He'd translate it accurately. Always. Truth first. Sarah works through Friday night. Through Saturday. Through Sunday. Her father's fountain pen, the one he gave her for her 18th birthday, sits beside her laptop. She translates every word with precision. Every technical term. Every cultural nuance. Every legal clause. And she adds something extra. A separate memo explaining the cultural context of certain phrases. The history behind Maison Lavelle's emphasis on heritage craftsmanship. The implications of their sustainability requirements. She emails everything to Claire at 8 a.m. Monday morning. 1 hour before the deadline. Then she goes back to the hospital and falls asleep in the chair next to her mother's bed. Her phone wakes her at noon. It's Claire. Sarah, you need to come in. Now. We have a video call with Maison Lavelle in an hour, and they're asking for you specifically. Sarah's heart pounds. Why would they ask for me? Just come. Please. Trust me. Sarah takes the bus to Meridian still in her jeans and her father's old cardigan. No uniform today. Claire meets her at reception and takes her directly to the executive conference room. The CEO is there. The legal team. Marcus, looking nervous. And on the large screen, 3 people from Maison Lavelle in Paris. The woman in the center speaks in French. Miss Bennett, I presume. Sarah responds in French. Yes. We wanted to thank you personally, the woman continues in French. Your translation was not just accurate. It was culturally intelligent. You understood not just our words, but our values. The way you explained our heritage terminology, your notes about sustainability and craftsmanship, this showed respect for what we're trying to preserve. She switches to English. We have a confession. Our proposal included several deliberately complex passages. We wanted to see how Meridian would handle them. Would they use machine translation? Would they hire someone who truly understood fashion culture? Your work showed us that Meridian has people who care about craft, about heritage, about getting things right. Are you seeing the power of being seen? If this resonates with you, subscribe now. Don't miss the next story. Sarah feels everyone's eyes on her. The Maison Lavelle woman continues. We would like to proceed with this partnership, but with one condition. We want Miss Bennett to serve as cultural liaison. We want to work with her directly on implementation. Meridian's CEO speaks up. Miss Bennett is currently employed in our facilities services. The woman from Paris smiles. Then perhaps that should change. There's a long pause. Then the CEO looks at Claire. Make it happen. Work out the details. Claire nods and turns to Sarah. After this call ends, you and I need to talk about your future here. The call continues for another 30 minutes, finalizing details, but Sarah barely hears it. Her phone buzzes. It's the bank. Payment received. £3,500. Deposited by Meridian Fashion Group Consulting Services. After the call ends, Claire takes Sarah to her office. I can't create a new position overnight, Claire says honestly. HR moves slowly. But here's what I can do. I'm offering you a 3-month contract as translation and cultural consultant. £2,500 per month. After 3 months, if everything works well, we convert you to permanent staff as International Liaison Coordinator at $35,000 per year. Plus benefits. Full health coverage. Professional development budget. Sarah's mind races. 3 months isn't guaranteed. She'd have to quit cleaning. Lose that safety net. What if it doesn't work out? Claire seems to read her mind. I'll put it in writing. If for any reason we don't convert your contract to permanent, I will personally ensure you get hired through my professional network. You have my word. And I keep my word. Sarah thinks about her mother. About the visa lawyer she can now afford. About 3 years of being invisible. About her father's voice. Words are bridges, Habibi. Build yours. She accepts. 6 months later, Sarah sits at a desk she shares with 2 other coordinators in Meridian's International Relations Department. It's not a corner office. It's not glamorous. But it's hers. Her father's fountain pen sits in a simple holder next to a framed photo of him. Her mother is stable, visa sorted, in a good day program for dementia patients. Sarah is working on her 3rd major translation project for Meridian. She's also taking evening classes to finally complete her degree. The company is paying for it. And she's been advocating internally for better treatment of facilities workers. The cleaning contractor was required to raise wages to £12 per hour and improve benefits. 5 of Sarah's former co-workers, including Ahmed the security guard, have been transferred to internal training programs for other roles. It's not perfect. Some former co-workers resent her. You got lucky, one said. Maybe. But Sarah also worked 3 jobs for 3 years, translated hundreds of documents in stolen hours, and finally took a risk when it mattered. Progress is slow. Some mornings she still feels imposter syndrome walking into meetings with executives. Marcus is now her colleague, and it's awkward, but they're professional. He apologized eventually, quietly, in the break room one day. The biggest change is this. She's visible now. People see her. They ask her opinion. They value her expertise. And she's learned something important. Being invisible kept her safe, but being seen is what let her finally build the life her father wanted for her. Here's what I want you to take from Sarah's story. If you're working a job that doesn't reflect your full abilities, you're not alone. Millions of people are in survival mode, hiding their talents because revealing them feels too risky. But sometimes, when the right moment comes, when the stakes are clear and the opportunity is real, stepping into the light is worth the risk. Not every story ends like Sarah's. Not every risk pays off. But staying invisible forever means never knowing what could have been. Your talents matter. Your skills matter. You matter. Even when it doesn't feel that way. If you're in a situation like Sarah's, here are some real resources. Check the description box below for links to organizations that help underemployed immigrants, multilingual job seekers, and workers navigating visa issues. I've also linked to platforms where you can offer freelance translation services safely and build a portfolio under your own name. And if you know someone who feels invisible in their job, someone whose talents are being wasted, share this video with them. Sometimes we all need a reminder that our skills have value, even when the world isn't recognizing them yet. Subscribe to this channel for more stories about real people navigating impossible choices and finding their way forward. Comment below and tell me, have you ever had to hide your abilities to keep a job? What would you have done in Sarah's situation? I read every comment, and your stories matter to me. Sarah doesn't have a corner office. She shares a cubicle with 2 other coordinators. Her father's pen sits on her desk next to a framed photo of him. She's not unforgettable. She's just finally visible. And sometimes, that's enough. Sometimes, being seen is the bridge that changes everything. Thank you for watching. Until next time, remember that your story matters. Even when you feel invisible, especially when you feel invisible, you matter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. See you in the next one.